How can a movie that was considered a box office flop still inspire conversation and TikTok memes 2 decades later? The answer is...
one man and 5 syllables. Derek Zoolander.
And more specifically, Ben Stiller, who wrote, directed, and starred in that still iconic comedy.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking?
Here's how Ben Stiller used an insult from his wife, stolen shots from one of TV's biggest networks, and real-life modeling techniques to get into the role of Derek Zoolander. Plus, we'll tell you what major global event almost stopped this film from hitting the runway. Let's take it all the way back to 1996. Supermodels like Naomi Campbell, Kate Moss, and Linda Evangelista were huge. Vanity Fair put it best when they said, supermodels were household names, and kids longing to be models were as commonplace as children aspiring to be doctors and lawyers. But nobody was pointing out the industry's more absurdist qualities. It was as if it had a giant kick-me sign on its back, waiting for someone to do the honors. Writer Derek Zoolander decided to answer that kick-me call with a sketch that premiered during the VH1 Fashion Awards. This sketch marks the birth of Derek Zoolander as we know him today, and gave the world its first taste of blue steel.
People come up to me all the time and say, you should be a model, or you look just like a model, or maybe you should try to be a man who models. Ferrari is a much more aggressive look. Blue steel, I really save for softer catalog work.
By the way, it turns out some wifely bullying may be the real genesis of this famous expression.
Really, the whole look came out of the way that my wife told me that I looked when I would brush my hair in the mirror.
We're not telling you a well-timed insult will always help your spouse's career, but it definitely did this time.
Scared you, didn't I? But that's the point.
This sketch was so popular that Stiller & Co. made a follow-up in 1997.
Derek will personally instruct you in male modeling keys to success.
There's a reason why they call it a catwalk, because you've got to be a tiger out there.
Based on the popularity of both sketches, VH1 decided to produce a feature-length Zoolander movie with Ben Stiller on board as co-writer, director, and star. The script went through many iterations, including one where Derek has a twin brother who's a Bruce Springsteen impersonator, also played by Stiller. But eventually, it ended up being a story about a male model's search for meaning, in a world where he and his gorgeous peers are secretly being used as sleeper cell agents to kill world leaders. Think Manchurian Candidate meets New York Fashion Week.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
By the way, that line, totally improvised.
But why male models?
You serious? I just told you that.
So was that. That's a real annoyance you see on David Duchovny's face because Ben Stiller accidentally repeated his previous line. The budget for this film was small, like really small.
What is this?
A center for ants!
Which meant the crew had to get a little creative when shooting scenes with crowds or celebrities. Producer Monica Levinson said the cast snuck into the existing VH1 sets and red carpets to either film scenes during commercial breaks or commandeer cameos on the fly.
Look, without Derek Zoolander, male modeling wouldn't be what it is today.
He is a fashion icon.
There was even a point when Ben Stiller let a crowd of paparazzi take exclusive pictures of him if they promised to yell the name Derek instead of Ben. Despite Zoolander being a comedy, Stiller took his research of the fashion industry very seriously. He sat front row at several major designer runways, including a Hugo Boss show where he met Billy Zane and convinced him to be in the movie.
Don't do this, Derek.
Listen to your friend Billy Zane.
Stiller also hired real fashion photographers and editors to shoot Derek's various covers. Many of them directly reference the popular ad campaigns from the time period. Stiller even claims he actually bulked up for some of the shirtless covers.
Weirdly, this movie, Heavyweights, that I did a long time ago, where I played this character, Tony Perkis. He's a very mean character, Tony Perkis, and he kind of relates a little bit to White Goodman, who is another fitness-crazed, mean person. I guess Derek Zoolander is kind of a fitness-crazed, nice person. So far the theme is fitness-crazed.
Stiller also got access to one of the top minds in the industry when he charmed the famously humorless famous Vogue editor Anna Wintour. While some fashion moguls thought Zoolander was an offensive take on their work, Wintour liked it so much that she gave Stiller and the crew her personal phone number so they could ask her questions during the shoot. Anna Wintour comes up later in the story too, so stay tuned. Stiller's triple threat role in this production also meant that he could cast his friends and family in key roles. His real father, Jerry Stiller, plays his agent, Mari Ballstein.
For Christ's sake, it's a casserole, Sheila! It'll stay!
His new wife, Christine Taylor, as Matilda.
I became...
What?
bulimic.
You can read minds.
And his close friend, Andy Dick, who pops up as Olga the masseuse. Justin Theroux even got his part because of the breakdancing skills he exhibited in Stiller's recent wedding.
Pop and lock and fool! They're breakdance fighting.
Can you qualify as a Nepo baby if you're a 30-year-old white man with dreads? Let's take a second or so to recap. So far, we've learned that making fun of your spouse and getting too lit at your friend's wedding always pays off. Thanks, Ben Stiller. All of that comes together to make a truly unique film. It was all set to open in theaters everywhere when something truly tragic happened.
No. Well, you don't want to hear about 9/11.
Zoolander's New York premiere party was supposed to take place a week before its September 28th release date. That's just a week before the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Many people in the entertainment industry were rightfully at a standstill at that moment. SNL was paused, Letterman called for a break from late night, and the question remained, should we hold space for mourning or give the world some much-needed levity? The Zoolander crew opted for the latter and moved their premiere from New York to Los Angeles. They also hastily removed shots of the Twin Towers from montages in the movie. Those clips were re-added to the cut for the DVD release, but are still absent from most streaming versions of the film. Zoolander attracted further controversy when Malaysia and Singapore banned the movie because it depicted the near murder of an elected official. It remains illegal to watch Zoolander in both of those places to this day. The nation's state of mourning might be to blame for the lackluster box office numbers on this movie. It still turned a profit at $60.8 million, but wouldn't get real traction until it started playing on television, which led to some crazy things, including an actual Vogue cover, a spot in Premiere Magazine's 50 Greatest Comedies of All Time, and a real-life runway moment for Hansel and Derek, facilitated by Anna Wintour herself.
Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson surprises Zoolander characters Valentino. What was it like to really walk a runway? One of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had. It's so serious. Those shows are so serious, and it's such a big deal. We'd literally just walked around in a circle. So it was kind of like this triumph of like, wait, we did it, wait, what did we do? We walked.
In 2016, most of the cast came back for a sequel, which told the story of Hansel and Derek teaming up with Interpol to save pop stars like Justin Bieber from a serial killer conspiracy.
Someone's trying to kill the world's most beautiful people.
Oh, fudge! Peace out, world.
All of them died with your signature look.
These two actors couldn't reprise their part in the sequel because in 2016, they were busy taking on other roles. But when the movie was released, Zoolander 2 didn't do blockbuster numbers that it was expected to. Knowing the same thing happened to the first movie though, maybe we just have to give it a few years for that blue steel to really mature.
Old LeMay?
As an actor, Ben Stiller has taken a back seat to focus on directing, and his darkly silly brand of comedy can still be seen today in projects like Apple TV's Severance. But we'll never forget his really good-looking turn as Derek Zoolander.
I love modeling. I'd like to do this forever. When I'm 30, I hope I'm still modeling.
What do you think? Does Ben Stiller's turn as the founder of the Derek Zoolander Center for Children Who Can't Read Good still hold up, or does it deserve to die on the runway of our collective memory? Tell us that and what actor you'd like us to cover next in the comments below.